In the shadowy world where outlaw bikers meet American enterprise, one man's name stands above all others: Ralph Hubert Sonny Barger, the visionary who transformed a small Oakland motorcycle club into a global phenomenon worth millions. A 7th grade dropout who outsmarted federal agents, corporate lawyers, and Hollywood executives to build an empire that thrives to this day. What's up, everyone? Welcome back to the channel. Today we're diving into one of the most requested stories you've been asking for: how Sonny Barger, the legendary Hells Angels leader, built an empire that transcended the outlaw biker world and penetrated mainstream America. But first, if you're new here, make sure to smash that subscribe button and hit the notification bell, because we drop these exclusive deep dives every week. And trust me, you don't want to miss what's coming up next on this channel. Before we begin, this isn't just another Hells Angels video. This is the definitive breakdown of how one man with a 7th grade education outmaneuvered the FBI, Hollywood executives, and corporate America to build a personal brand worth millions. We're talking business empires, hidden assets, Hollywood connections, and the secrets that were never meant to go public. While other outlaws ended up broke, imprisoned, or dead, Sonny Barger died a wealthy man in his multi-million-dollar Arizona estate in 2022. The question isn't just how he survived, it's how he thrived in a world designed to destroy men like him. By the end of this video, you'll understand how a man who spent years in federal prison managed to build legitimate businesses, best-selling books, and a merchandising empire that continues generating millions years after his death. The playbook Sonny created has been studied by marketing executives at major corporations, and today we're breaking it down exclusively for you. Let's get into it. Oakland, California, 1957. A skinny 18-year-old kid named Sonny Barger joins a small motorcycle club called the Hells Angels. At this point, the Angels were just one of dozens of motorcycle clubs in post-war America, with little to distinguish them from their competitors. Sonny's early life reads like a blueprint for trouble. Mother abandoned the family when he was 4 months old, raised by an alcoholic father who was frequently absent, dropped out of school in the 10th grade. By age 16, he had falsified his birth certificate to join the army, only to be honorably discharged 14 months later when they discovered his true age. What nobody could have predicted was that this troubled teenager possessed a business mind that would rival Wall Street executives. Within a year of joining, Sonny had become president of the Oakland chapter. His first major decision would change everything. What separated Barger from the beginning wasn't just his toughness, it was his understanding of organization and power. While other outlaw bikers were focused on the next party, Sonny was creating a structure that would eventually span continents. Before Sonny took control, each Hells Angels chapter operated independently with different rules, different patches, even different colors. Barger's first brilliant move: standardization. He established the Oakland chapter as the mother chapter and implemented consistent rules, membership requirements, and even merchandise standards across all chapters. Think about this. In the late 1960s, before franchising was mainstream in America, Sonny Barger had essentially created a franchise model for outlaw motorcycle clubs. Each chapter operated independently but adhered to strict branding guidelines and kicked up money to the mother chapter. An ex-member said this: "What made Sonny different was that he wasn't just thinking about tomorrow's ride or next week's party. He was thinking 5-10 years ahead. He understood power structures in a way none of us did back then." The dues system alone generated substantial revenue, with hundreds of members paying weekly dues plus initial fees from new prospects. The club's treasury grew quickly, but dues were just the beginning. Sonny implemented something revolutionary for an outlaw club: financial accountability. Each chapter had a treasurer who kept detailed records. Money was tracked, investments were made, properties were purchased, all while maintaining the outlaw image that kept law enforcement believing they were just dealing with unorganized criminals. By the mid-1960s, the Oakland chapter owned its clubhouse outright. They had purchased properties that members could use. They had established legal defense funds for inevitable encounters with law enforcement. All of this required sophisticated financial planning that Sonny oversaw personally. But Sonny's most profitable insight was still to come. He realized that the Hells Angels name itself had value that extended far beyond the club. Here's where Sonny's genius really shows. In 1966, he did something that would change everything. He registered the Hells Angels name and Death Head logo as trademarks. This move was decades ahead of its time. While other motorcycle clubs were simply trying to intimidate rivals, Sonny was thinking about intellectual property rights. The club began aggressively protecting their trademark against unauthorized use. Let's put this in perspective. In the 1960s, most corporations were just beginning to understand the value of trademark protection. Yet, here was Sonny Barger, a guy with minimal formal education, creating a legal framework to protect and monetize the Hells Angels brand. The results speak for themselves. By the 1990s, the Hells Angels Motorcycle Corporation, yes, they had created a formal corporation, was filing dozens of lawsuits annually against companies who used their imagery without permission. The numbers are staggering. In 2013 alone, the club sued Alexander McQueen, Saks Fifth Avenue, and Zappos for using the Death Head imagery on clothing. These settlements often reached into the millions. They successfully sued Marvel Comics, Disney, and numerous fashion designers. An attorney said this: "What Barger understood before most people was that counterculture symbols have enormous commercial value. The Hells Angels logo conveys rebellion, freedom, danger, qualities that mainstream companies pay millions to associate with their products." But Sonny wasn't just playing defense. He created a network of official merchandise outlets where authentic Hells Angels products could be sold at premium prices. T-shirts selling for $30 that cost $3 to produce, belt buckles for $75, patches, pins, calendars, all sold at massive markups because they carried authentic outlaw credibility. Think about the brilliance of this model. The Hells Angels created the ultimate exclusive luxury brand. You couldn't just buy their merchandise anywhere, you had to go through official channels. And the club's fearsome reputation ensured that counterfeiters thought twice before creating knockoffs. As law enforcement pressure increased in the 1980s and 90s, Sonny evolved the business model again. Support stores emerged selling merchandise with the number 81, H being the 8th letter of the alphabet, A being the first, allowing fans to show support without violating trademark laws. Each support store operated under licensing agreements that funneled percentages back to the club. The model generated millions in revenue while maintaining legal separation between the club and the business. The trademark protection strategy wasn't just about revenue, it was about controlling the narrative. By deciding who could and couldn't use the Death Head symbol, Sonny ensured that the Hells Angels brand remained authentic in the public eye. While this was happening, Sonny was already working on his next major business breakthrough, Hollywood infiltration. The 1960s saw an explosion of biker exploitation films. Most motorcycle clubs were portrayed without their permission or compensation. Hollywood was making millions off the outlaw biker image while actual clubs saw nothing. Instead of fighting Hollywood, Barger infiltrated it. He negotiated deals where the Hells Angels would provide authenticity as consultants and even actors in films for a price. Barger himself appeared in films including Hells Angels 69, where he and other real club members played themselves. This wasn't just about ego, it was about controlling how the club was portrayed and monetizing their image. Think about the strategy here. By participating in these films, Sonny accomplished three things. First, he ensured the Hells Angels were portrayed accurately. Second, he generated income for club members who appeared in the films. And third, he built relationships with Hollywood power players that would prove valuable for decades. When journalist Hunter S. Thompson approached the club for his book Hells Angels, Sonny initially cooperated. The book became a massive bestseller in 1966, but Sonny felt Thompson had betrayed the club's trust. More importantly, Thompson was profiting from the Hells Angels story, while the club saw nothing. This experience taught Sonny another valuable lesson. If someone was going to tell the Hells Angels story and profit from it, it should be the Hells Angels themselves. Decades later, when Sonny published his autobiography, Hells Angel: The Life and Times of Sonny Barger and the Hells Angels Motorcycle Club, he didn't just create a memoir, he created a competing historical record that challenged Thompson's account. Published in 2000, Barger's book became a New York Times bestseller, selling over 1 million copies worldwide. He followed it with 5 more books, including Freedom, Credos from the Road, and Let's Ride, Sonny Barger's Guide to Motorcycling. Each book further cemented his personal brand while generating substantial royalties. The publishing empire expanded to include co-writers, ghostwriters, and a series of motorcycle-themed novels. Each book was strategically marketed to both the outlaw biker community and curious mainstream readers, maximizing sales potential. Book tours took Sonny across America and Europe, where he was treated less like an outlaw biker and more like a celebrity author. These appearances generated speaking fees while further legitimizing his personal brand. Barger's Hollywood connections reached their peak when he appeared on the hit show Sons of Anarchy as character Lenny the Pimp Yanowitz. The show became one of the most successful cable dramas of its era, introducing the outlaw motorcycle club world to millions of new viewers. What most viewers didn't realize was that much of the show's portrayal of biker culture was shaped by Barger's consulting work behind the scenes. Once again, he had positioned himself to profit from and control the narrative around outlaw motorcycle culture. Industry insiders said this: "What Sonny understood was cross-platform branding before most entertainment executives were thinking about it. His books drove interest in his TV appearances, which drove book sales, which increased his value as a consultant, which led to merchandise sales. It was a perfectly executed cross-platform strategy." By this point, Sonny had mastered something few outlaws ever achieve: mainstream legitimacy while maintaining his outlaw credentials. This delicate balance allowed him to operate in both worlds simultaneously. While the public saw the biker image, behind the scenes, Sonny was diversifying his income streams like a Fortune 500 CEO. Let's break down his business portfolio and how he structured it to maximize profits while minimizing legal exposure. At the center was Sonny Barger Productions, a corporation that managed his publishing rights, appearance fees, and merchandise licensing. This company was legally separate from his Hells Angels membership, creating a firewall between his personal business interests and club activities. Motorcycle repair shops in Oakland and later Arizona provided steady income while maintaining his biker credentials. A parts manufacturing business supplied custom components to Harley-Davidson enthusiasts worldwide. Each business operated under separate legal entities, often with trusted associates listed as owners or co-owners. Barger's name recognition allowed these businesses to charge premium prices. Customers weren't just buying motorcycle parts, they were buying parts associated with the legendary Sonny Barger. This celebrity factor created profit margins that competitors couldn't match. One of his smartest moves, Sonny Barger's name itself became a licensed brand. Everything from Sonny Barger Freedom motorcycles to leather goods carried his name and generated royalties. By trademarking his own name, he created yet another revenue stream. His store in Cave Creek, Arizona became a destination for motorcycle enthusiasts worldwide, selling exclusive merchandise available nowhere else. Tour buses would literally stop at the store so visitors could purchase authentic Sonny Barger products. But perhaps the most impressive aspect of Sonny's business empire was his real estate investments. Properties purchased in Oakland in the 1960s and 70s skyrocketed in value during the tech boom. His compound in Arizona appreciated significantly as the Phoenix area grew. These property investments provided both appreciation and tax advantages. By the time Sonny moved his operations to Arizona in the late 1990s, his real estate portfolio alone was worth millions. The motorcycle lifestyle brand expanded to include Sonny Barger's motorcycle safety tips videos, instructional content, and eventually motorcycle rally appearances, where he was paid to simply show up. Each appearance could command fees in the tens of thousands. As major motorcycle events like Sturgis, Daytona Bike Week, and European rallies, Sonny's appearance was considered a major draw. Vendors would pay for his endorsement, event organizers would pay appearance fees, and his merchandise would sell out within hours. What's particularly interesting is how Sonny positioned himself as both an outlaw icon and a motorcycle safety advocate. This dual positioning allowed him to work with legitimate companies like Harley-Davidson, while maintaining his outlaw credibility. A business associate said this: "What made Sonny unique was his ability to compartmentalize. In business meetings, he was focused, professional, and strategic. He could switch from outlaw biker to shrewd businessman in an instant, depending on the situation." By the early 2000s, Sonny had constructed a diversified business empire that generated income from publishing, merchandise, appearance fees, consulting work, real estate, and direct business operations, all while maintaining the mystique that made the Sonny Barger brand valuable in the first place. Throughout his life, Sonny faced numerous legal challenges. He served time in San Quentin for possession of narcotics in the early 1970s. In 1979, he and other club members were indicted on RICO charges, that's Racketeer Influenced or Corrupt Organization Act, designed specifically to take down organized groups. Yet, unlike many of his contemporaries who lost everything to asset forfeiture, Barger managed to protect his wealth through sophisticated legal structures that confounded federal prosecutors. The cornerstone of Sonny's asset protection strategy was separation. His personal assets were legally distinct from club assets. His businesses were structured using trusts, corporations, and limited liability companies that created multiple layers of protection. Here's where it gets interesting. Sonny utilized complex corporate structures, placing assets in other people's names and creating legal separation between his personal wealth and club activities. He employed legitimate business attorneys, not criminal defense lawyers, to structure his affairs. While federal authorities focused on criminal activities, Sonny was working with top business attorneys to create legal firewalls around his legitimate interests. Property was often held in other people's names or in trusts. Businesses were incorporated with minimal paper connections to Barger himself. This strategy of legal compartmentalization meant that even when authorities targeted Sonny or the club, his most valuable assets remained protected. It's a strategy used by many wealthy individuals, but rarely executed so effectively by someone with Barger's background. The effectiveness of these strategies became clear during various federal investigations. Prosecutors were often frustrated by their inability to connect Barger's assets to allegedly illegal activities, despite years of investigation and millions spent on prosecution. Sonny also understood something that many overlook: the power of legitimate income. By creating verifiable taxable income streams through his books, businesses, and appearance fees, he could explain his lifestyle to any investigating authority. Unlike many in the criminal world who avoided taxes, Sonny filed tax returns consistently. This created a paper trail of legitimate income that made it difficult for authorities to prove that any of his assets were derived from illicit activities. The lesson here is profound. Sonny understood that in modern America, the greatest legal vulnerability isn't always criminal charges, but financial investigations. By creating legitimate income streams and paying taxes on them, he protected himself in ways that pure criminals never could. By the time Sonny settled in Cave Creek, Arizona, he had transformed from an outlaw biker to a legitimate businessman worth millions. His home, vehicles, and lifestyle reflected his success while maintaining his biker roots. Even after being diagnosed with throat cancer in 1983 and having his larynx removed, Sonny continued building his empire. He learned to speak using his esophagus and continued making public appearances, writing books, and expanding his business interests. This medical challenge became part of his mystique. The raspy mechanical voice became instantly recognizable and added to the Sonny Barger brand. What would have ended many public careers instead became another distinctive element of his public persona. As the internet emerged in the 1990s, Sonny recognized its potential before many of his contemporaries. Official websites for both the Hells Angels and Sonny Barger personally went online, creating new avenues for merchandise sales and brand building. These digital platforms allowed direct-to-consumer sales without the overhead of physical stores. They also created global reach, allowing fans from Tokyo to Berlin to purchase official merchandise with a few clicks. Social media accounts managed by Sonny's team kept his presence alive even as his health declined. Facebook pages, Instagram accounts, and YouTube channels expanded his reach to younger audiences who might never have encountered his books or movies. By 2020, Sonny's social media presence reached millions of followers across multiple platforms. Each post promoted his books, merchandise, or upcoming appearances, creating a digital marketing machine that operated 24/7. Perhaps most impressively, Sonny created detailed succession plans for his business empire. Unlike many entrepreneurs who fail to plan for the future, he established trusts, licensing agreements, and management structures that would continue generating revenue long after his death. These succession plans ensured that the Sonny Barger brand would continue generating revenue for his chosen beneficiaries. Trademark rights, publishing royalties, and merchandising licensing were all carefully structured to provide ongoing income streams. When Sonny passed away from cancer on June 29, 2022, thousands of bikers participated in memorial rides across the country. His funeral in Stockton, California saw over 7,000 attendees from around the world, a testament to his impact on motorcycle culture globally. What many didn't realize was that even in death, Sonny had planned carefully. His estate, intellectual property rights, and business interests were meticulously organized to continue generating revenue and maintaining his legacy. Today, years after his death, Sonny Barger products continue selling. His books remain in print. His image still appears on licensed merchandise. The empire he built continues generating millions in annual revenue, the ultimate testament to his business acumen. So, what can we learn from Sonny Barger's journey from Oakland street tough to multi-million entrepreneur? First, he understood branding before it was a buzzword. He recognized that symbols, names, and images had commercial value that could be protected and monetized. Second, he mastered legal separation between his personal interests and his club activities, creating protective structures that shielded his assets from legal challenges. Third, he diversified his income streams across publishing, merchandise, appearances, real estate, and direct business operations, never relying on a single revenue source. Perhaps most importantly, Sonny Barger understood the value of controlling his own narrative. While others told stories about the Hells Angels, he ensured that his version reached the widest audience through books, films, and television appearances. In many ways, Sonny Barger's greatest achievement wasn't building the Hells Angels into a global phenomenon. It was transforming himself from an outlaw into a brand, from a criminal defendant into a business mogul, from a high school dropout into a best-selling author. Love him or hate him, Sonny Barger wasn't just a motorcycle club president. He was a visionary who saw the commercial potential of outlaw culture decades before corporations began using rebellion to sell products. He was a master strategist who outmaneuvered federal prosecutors, corporate lawyers, and entertainment executives to build an empire that thrives even after his death. If you found this deep dive fascinating, destroy that like button right now. And if you want more videos exposing the hidden empires of controversial figures, hit subscribe and comment below who you want to see next. Was Sonny Barger a business genius or just lucky? Let me know what you think in the comments below. This has been the untold story of Sonny Barger's empire, the man who turned a death head patch into a multi-million-dollar legacy, the outlaw who rewrote the rules of American business. And before you go, we've got another video coming next week about how Pablo Escobar's family is still making millions from his legacy. You won't want to miss it. See you in the next one.